Got your brain in gear? It's time for the best puzzle games you can play on PC. Puzzle games are a developmental quandary. Not only do they need to be, by their very nature, taxing on the old delicious grey matter, they also have to make players feel smart. The best puzzle games don't send you around in frustrating circles, forcing you to go to Google and find the tenuous solution. They are cleverer than you, but they don't talk down to you, gently letting you uncover a solution that feels like it makes actual sense. Here then is a collection of just those types of games. Games that are more intelligent than you, but like the best genii, don't make you feel bad about it. Or, at least not bad enough to fall out with them. Here are the 10 best puzzle games you can play on PC right now.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure.
If we had $1 for every puzzle game inspired by Art Deco and the stained glass artisans of the 20th century, we'd have $1 for Glass Masquerade and $1 for its forthcoming sequel. But don't let the unusual premise put you off. This tactile puzzler is as gorgeous as it is unique. You painstakingly recreate striking Art Deco images from a series of glass jigsaw pieces, starting from the edges and working your way inwards. Each shape is different, but they're all ornate clocks from different countries, and those ticking hands constantly remind you how long it's taking you to find that one unusually shaped piece. It's straightforward stuff then, but the striking unusual setting and elegant gameplay make Glass Masquerade oddly mesmerising. If you enjoy unique jigsaw puzzles, or you've ever fancied throwing a brick through a church window just so you could piece things back together, then Glass Masquerade is cheap, engaging, effortlessly stylish fun. A lot of puzzle games engage the brain without giving you a sense of feel. It's like you're clicking images on a screen. Because, you are, instead of grasping a real object. The Room series does a brilliant job of fixing that. Instead of a flat surface, you're presented with a series of puzzle boxes, mystical tables, and hidden panels. They all feature secret, gloriously clickable buttons and sliders just waiting to be uncovered by your probing, investigative mind. Quite simply, few things are quite so satisfying as working out some of the Room's more intricate puzzles. And on top of all the brilliant brain teasers, there's a gently sinister Lovecraftian undertone that makes everything you do in the game feel slightly forbidden. Like your arcane tinkering will open portals to places that human eyes weren't meant to see. We have such sights to show you. Wait, sorry, wrong puzzle box. Sure, it comes laden with symbolic weight and a criticism of modern games from indie mastermind Jonathan Blow to boot, but even if you look at Braid as purely a puzzle game alone, it's still a truly genre-defining exercise in brain power. As with all the best mind fuel, Braid's puzzle mechanics starts off simple. There'll be no spoilers here if you haven't already played, as the story is equally important to the experience, but Tim here can reverse time. This comes in seriously handy as he travels sideways through a world of peril where only fast forwarding and rewinding your steps allows you to progress. Time can save your skin from monsters or your own fat-fingered errors, but as you get further through the 6 worlds on offer, more and more obstacles are put in your way. Elements of the world become time-proof, forcing you to get more and more inventive with your solutions. Throw in the beautiful visuals and a truly heartbreaking soundtrack, and Braid is a puzzle masterpiece. Oh, and if you can't get enough of Jonathan Blow's blend of puzzles and social commentary, load up The Witness once you've finished Braid. Your brain will never feel quite the same again. Yes, there is a philosophical physics-based puzzle game from the development team behind Serious Sam. And yes, it's probably one of the best puzzle games you can play on any gaming platform, let alone PC. On paper, the Talos Principle might not sound like something to set your imagination alight, but spend a matter of minutes in this beautiful world of laser beams and a gradually unravelling narrative, and you might just fall in puzzle love. Deftly layering a multitude of brain teasers like a cryptic Big Mac, the Talos Principle is always smarter than you. Always. Whether you're faced with logic, physics, or even the fact that if you've illegally grabbed a copy then it will take you up in a lift that will just suddenly stop for good, this game is always one step ahead. Thankfully though, there's the nice addition of the ability to solve more than one puzzle at once, letting you flip between challenges and keep your brain fresh. Sure, sometimes it can be fiendish, but the problem is never the game, only your mind just not putting together the clues fast enough. Stick with it, and you're going to feel like a genius by the time it's over.
And all these worlds I made for you.
It's a different experience to most of the other games on this list with its distinctly FPS style, but that doesn't mean Portal is any less deserving of a Best Puzzling award. In fact, all brain teasers should be accompanied by a psychotic AI simultaneously congratulating and criticising you for your very offensive existence as a human being. Sure, things start off simple as you gradually get to grips with the portal gun, but very quickly the difficulty ramps up as adorable companion cubes are introduced into the mix, along with the slightly less adorable turrets. Portal is the perfect brain food. Just tricky enough for you to get things wrong a few times, but designed cleverly enough that instead of you congratulating Valve, you end up patting yourself on the back over and over again. Oh, well done, brain, you did it again. And once it's all over, you've got Portal 2 to make you feel like a complete genius all over again. A triumph indeed.
You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
If you haven't already had the genuine pleasure, prepare to meet your new most satisfying puzzler of all time. Gorogoa might not have the most memorable of names, and yes, you'll forget it when you try and tell your friends, but few games will send you punching the air with polite screams of simple joy like this beautiful head scratcher. The premise of Gorogoa is exceptionally simple. All you have to do is move comic panels around the screen to progress the story. Line up doors for the boy to walk through, pop a bucket below a bird and an apple so that the fruit tumbles into the container when the bird takes off. Every panel has multiple layers, and it never takes too long to discover the next ingenious solution to each test. You'll probably finish Gorogoa, complete with its beautiful art style and soundtrack, in one sitting, but you really won't want it to be over. Like sinking into the same relaxing mental bath as a jigsaw, this is a true, terrifyingly clever modern masterpiece. Meet Chucho. Chucho likes one thing more than anything else in the world: cherries that are the same size and shape as his tiny, angry, hairy body. Unfortunately, the rest of the strange cartoon realm he lives in really doesn't want him to get even one of his 5 cherries a day. Oh dear. Chucho comes from Amanita Designs, the studio responsible for Machinarium and the Samarost games, but takes far more of a slapstick comedy approach to the puzzle genre. There's a strange kind of logic at work here, and it's not always obvious what's standing between Chucho and his cherry, but this is a constantly hilarious, surreal journey. Chucho himself puts the fur into furious, and there's a Lewis Carroll-esque sense of the absurd here. Whether you're playing Chucho's version of Space Invaders, Angry Birds, or even Pac-Man, you'll never know quite what's going to happen next. Don't worry though, you'll get to the fruit of the problem eventually. Let's avoid the sausage jokes, shall we? They're always the actual worst. Okay, well, now I've got that out of the way, I can get onto Stephen's sausage roll, and how not only will it make you hungry, it'll also probably drive you absolutely mad in the best possible way. In case it's not clear from the title, this is absolutely about cooking sausages. Faced with a number of the meaty snacks, your job is to make sure that you evenly cook them on both sides with the grills provided. Here's the tricky bit though. You're on a series of islands and are armed only with a fork that can roll the sausages. Stephen's sausage roll is fiendish. It will drive you slowly insane as you attempt to cook each link. But the solution is always there, sometimes just out of reach. Maybe those sausages don't go on those particular grills. Maybe they need to roll further than you think before they can cook. This is a game that is constantly challenging you with its evil creativity. Don't worry though, you'll catch up eventually. Opus Magnum, also known as that game you always see on Twitter that makes no sense, is an alchemical puzzle game from the people behind Space Chem and Infinifactory. What do I mean by alchemical? Well, the goal here in each puzzle is to make a specific chemical product, such as remedies, gemstones and weapons, using the gloriously intricate transmutation engine. That means designing and building a series of machines with programmable arms, whirling doodads and glyphs. But as well as being incredibly hypnotic, the real draw of Opus Magnum is that the puzzles are open-ended. Theoretically, a perfect machine for each conundrum exists, but the solutions are so broad that you'll almost always be able to muddle through. Your goal then is to create the most elegant and efficient solution to each puzzle, which you can then show off to your friends, hence the aforementioned gifs you see all over Twitter. If you've got a deeply analytical mind or just a flamboyant mechanical streak, Opus Magnum will grease the wheels of the mad engineer hiding inside you. Nope, we haven't been hit too many times by various archaeological traps. Square Enix Montreal's exceptional turn-based puzzler, Lara, Croft, Go, is absolutely worth your ancient artefact hunting time. A follow-up to the team's equally excellent Hitman Go, the adventures of Ms. Croft fit perfectly into this perilous, isometric world. Everything you love about Tomb Raider is here. Traps, levers, saw blades and dangerous beasties all await the intrepid explorer. And sure, it starts off with only a couple of threats, but it's not long before everything wants to kill you and trial and error becomes the order of the day as you try and remember exactly how some hungry foes move across the board. As puzzlers go, it's not going to melt your brain in the same way as some other titles on this list, but that doesn't stop every stage feeling deeply satisfying as Lara survives to fight another day. This is a perfect accompaniment to Shadow of the Tomb Raider on the nights where you don't fancy anything too violently taxing. And before your neural connections completely melt, that's the best puzzle games you can play on PC. Let us know your favourite brain teasers in the comments below, drop us a like if you feel smarter about puzzle games, and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this one.